All right, everybody, welcome home. This is gonna be our home for a while. I tried to do something in like a panic last second move. I wanted to extend the lease on the Arn building, and it sold the next day. So we're gonna have to, moving out. So I got about 2.5, 3 weeks left before we start moving, and so this is going to be my detailing, and obviously it's my washing home. But what are you going to do? I'll tell you more about it as we wash here. But I was thinking about doing I'm putting a deal together for Obsessed Home Theater, and my two friends that are going to be possibly moving here, and we're like, well, we're going to need a warehouse, and so I'm like, well, maybe I can extend it. And so I called the lady and said, hey, I'm not ready to commit yet, but maybe I could extend the lease. So she said, sure, let's do it, and then let me know. And then the next day she said, it's sold, so you're out of luck. So anyway, today's sponsor of the video is, again, me, and it is Bilt Hamber. Now, you're watching this video several days after I shot it, so the product isn't here yet. This is my original, palette that they sent over to me. So, and I don't have a traceless. So imagine traceless, Atomac, touchless. We want to bring the clay bars, but they're not available yet. So the clay bars will also be on the Obsessed Garage store, but touchless will be available in 1 liters and gallons. And then Atomac will be available in, I believe, 500 milliliters and 1 liter. You can buy a 1 liter if you want, but a 500 milliliter at 5%, you're going to make a whole lot of, whatever that math is, a whole lot of product from this one bottle. Remember, I was using it straight up forever. You're supposed to dilute it, 5% to a 5% solution. So these puppies are coming. We already launched, and so our air freight shipment, so you guys will probably start seeing it on Facebook group and on social media a bit. We did already launch our signature edition of Atomac and touchless that sold. I think the touchless sold out in like 23 minutes, Bryce said, something like that. But the container should be on the water as of the time that you're watching this video. And so the pre-order's open, and we're looking at 4, 5, 6 weeks, depending on how long it takes to clear customs. So you're say 4 to 6 weeks, let's just say 6 weeks for delivery of the product. And my guess is we'll probably sell this container out. It's primarily touchless. Is the lion's share of the full container. So I would urge you, get your order in, and you're going to wait a little bit for it, but get your order in, and we're going to try to figure out what the demand is for this stuff. It's freaking awesome. So today's wash, I'm using the original 4% PIR. I'll probably be going down to 1.5%, 1 to 2% panel impact ratio dilution. So right now I'm using it straight up in my foam cannon because, technically speaking, when I run my calculation, I would need 1,100 milliliters of product in a 1,000 milliliter foam cannon, and so I'm probably running somewhere around a 3.2 or 3 or 4% panel impact ratio when I'm cleaning the Rivian. So the car is actually dirty. The other thing we're going to mess with today is I'm going to put some armor. This is a secret edition. I don't know if I'm supposed to share this with you, but I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. This is a V2 of his glass coating. And so I'm going to try something out on the windshield. This is Michelle's car, so it gets beat up quite a bit. I love wolves on my cars. I don't have someone here. Oh, it's over there. So I love Wolf's nano glass sealant on my cars because I just like how it functions, how it works, this stuff. But on Michelle's cars, she just freaking wiper crazy, and so it's not super durable when it comes to people that are using wipers like indiscriminately. I use them very discriminatingly, and so I'm trying a bunch of new glass coatings. I just did what's it called? The Diamond Protec. I did that on the E30, which is not really going to get beat up very much. and I am gonna do it, I'm gonna put the armor on. I've got D-Quartz, I've got H2Go again, I've got Angel Wax Exodus to try. Here's the D-Quartz stuff. So this is my D-Quartz G-Force is what I'm gonna be putting on as well. I got all kinds of new stuff to try out. So we'll mess with this stuff. This is my tester. I got some armor stuff to test out. So lots of stuff coming in various wash and talks, but today's focus is Bilt Hamber. So let's get, I should probably mention my shirt while I'm at it here too. So Bryce didn't allow me to launch the shirt or talk about the shirts until we had them. So they're here. This is a new shirt. This is for those of you who got the garage design shirt. This is from that same company called Castafel. The screen print on this is phenomenal, but it has reinforced neck. It's a little different material. It's slightly different cut. This is a large on me. They don't shrink very much. I'm 6'2", 221 this morning, or right now. I just ate some lunch, so probably 222. But we have them in 3 colors: green, this kind of cool looking off red finish, or I guess not finish, but color wave, and then in the sort of army looking green color as well, which is pretty sweet. I think you'll really like these shirts. You get the little OG hex on the back, kind of a simple design. So we have them in these 3 colors. They're in stock, ready to ship. These run, I'd say, pretty true to size, slightly bigger than the Los Angeles Apparel stuff. So like I can wear if I wear a large American Apparel, it's quite a bit tighter, and these shrink a little bit less, but they're super, super nice. I forget what the material is. It's some sort of recycled proprietary blend. It's 60-40, 60% cotton, 40% polyester. It's made out of some recycled, plastic bottles or something like that. So pretty sweet. Anyway, they're available in the store. So let's get to work. Let's see. I'm gonna mix up some Armor Shampoo Plus for our after Bilt Hamber. Somebody was saying, somebody told me I only needed 100 milliliters, but I'm gonna try it at my normal 150 milliliter test, because I'm gonna be doing the Raptor anyway. Let's see. It smells pretty good. Kind of cherry-ish scent. So let's do 150 milliliters. Makes it seem expensive when you take it from a 16-ounce bottle. It's a good chunk of it. So I'd only get, at 473 milliliters, I only get, 3 washes out of it, out of a 16-ounce. What line is that? Yeah, see, it's not even on the grios. I guess that's the 100 and the 200. So I guess if you shot the gap between the lowest line and the other, that makes sense. All right, let's fill this up so we'll have this ready to go. And I'll fill it up more because we're gonna be doing the Rivian, but normally I would only put about, just depends on the vehicle. So if I'm doing a bigger car like this, I'll fill up the whole foam cannon. So that's where my 150 milliliters gets me a sort of foolproof method. All right, so we got that ready. I always like to get a multi-purpose towel out here. Have one of these sitting here, so we got that. We can put these guys away. I got everything organized, so my entire garage, entire master collection is all here. All the cabinets, interior, everything for interiors here, everything for exterior is here. The only thing I'm not keeping here, like at least for another couple of weeks anyway, are my polishers, but I'm gonna bring the polishers here as well. So I have several cabinets over there with all my stuff in it. So I got everything dialed, as well as my tester stuff. So all the tester stuff up there. Yeah, apparently I bought two Armor Pilot interior cleaners. Maybe we'll mess with that a little bit today. Okay, So got my pressure washer ready to go. Let's clean the wheels. Yeah, this thing is freaking dirty, man. It really needs cleaned up. Let's put it in car wash mode first. Well, I guess we don't have it anymore. It's just gonna be freaking buzzing at us the whole time. Apparently there's no car wash mode anymore. The software update. So, you know, one thing to consider would be, you know, you just do pre-wash on the wheels too. You know, so that's something. If your wheels are coated and really dialed, these have deluxe gliss on them, then you could just do that. I don't know. I haven't decided to give that up yet. I still like this brake buster combination. Yep. I like the way that goes. All right, so. These wheels aren't the easiest to clean. So we're using the dual Krenzels like normal. And gosh, I've been seeing, you know, Big Boy Active, you know, launch their new pressure washers. And, you know, I remember my one talent in this world is figuring out products, and I can usually tell in 2 frickin' seconds if something's gonna be good or not without even touching it. Sometimes something will shock me, you know, like the Ego pressure washer is pretty frickin' sweet. Way better than I thought it was gonna be. You know, in a portable sense. I mean, I wouldn't want it as my dedicated only pressure washer, but it's pretty freaking nice for, you know, apartment dwellers and, you know, somebody who maybe doesn't have access to a real convenient washing area, and it's super portable. You can pull from a bucket. But I've just noticed this real strong sense of diet pillism, you know, and it's always been this way in detailing. Everybody's looking for that like diet pill that can make you lose 100 pounds in 3 weeks, you know, and so same thing in pressure washing. You're like, well, man, if I could get something that was nobody knew about and it was something new that was just better, people get so excited. But the current incumbents, the Krenzler, the Comet, the AR, you know, the Active 2.0. Even the Karchers, you know, they're still better. And so now you have these new ones that come out, and, you know, if they're better, I'll tell you, and I'll try to sell them. But they're not. The Big Boy, I met those guys. They don't know which end of the world is up. They have no idea. They just saw that, well, Active made one with 5 plungers. We're going to make one with 4. And then they, you know, it seems pretty clear to me that then they just go look for a little bit prettier plastic in the Chinese pump that they're putting together. I'm telling you guys, it's freaking junk. All the Big Boy stuff. The Big Boy blower. Why would you buy the Big Boy blower when the Metrovac exists? It's so much better. It's not even close. It's just the people, you guys are always looking for some like diet pill, something to I don't know what. But I see it with all the, you know, Amazon purchasers, you know, people who buy everything from Amazon. I buy paper towels and my contact solution from Amazon. That's about it. There's nothing on Amazon in the pressure washing space that is something you really want. So there's all these guys looking for, and now, you know, I have all these young guys that, you know, make the same videos that I made 4 years ago, and people love them. I don't know why people love them so much. I hated those videos. People hated the videos when I was doing them, and we've already solved this problem. So why are we looking for a new fix to a problem that doesn't exist? We don't need a $700, $600, $700, $800 pressure washer. They're already here, and they're already way better. So, and I can understand if it was, you know, 280 bucks and did, you know, 3 gallons a minute. So, anyway, my advice, being a product freaking guy, is to chill out on this stuff. Don't buy your freaking fittings from Amazon. Don't buy your pressure washer gun. These things that, or these guys go buy this, they get this Chinese crap from Alibaba, and then they pretend like it's something special and better. It's not. Even like the reason why I didn't do the active gun is terrible. Why wouldn't you just buy the MTM, you know, the SG28, the SGS28? And same thing when I told the MTM guys about the Aqua line. I'm like, this doesn't need to exist. And yet I see these baby blue pressure washer guns all over the place. It's their worst gun. It's, you know, 30 bucks more than the SGS28, and like half as good. Makes no sense that it even exists. So it's just a product that really, you know, after I said I don't want this thing, it doesn't need to exist. It was a way for them to go to the other, you know, retailers who don't know anything about this stuff to sell you something that's a little different than what I'm selling you. So anyway, I don't mean to get all negative on you here, but chill out on the frickin' new pressure washers. They're not better. It's not even close. This is why I didn't care to mess with the active. I've had it for months just sitting there. You can just tell, just new. Again, if it was 400 bucks, it'd be pretty sweet. But 650? No. And it's 80 decibels. It's the loudest pressure washer that exists by far. And I like the guys from Active, but they're going to sell you guys lots of them, apparently. But I wouldn't buy it. I'd buy the frickin' Comet. The difference between 1.1 gallons a minute and 1.5 is pretty significant. You know, the difference between 1.8 and 2.2 it's not negligible, but it's pretty close to negligible. In order to get a really remarkable difference, you know, you're going to want to double it. You know, going to 3.5 or 4 gallons a minute from 2. So somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 gallons a minute at around 1,000 psi is, you know, is I think a decent target. Pretty cool that the, you know, I have to admit, it's pretty cool that the 3 plungers on the Active 2.0, and I think they'll probably improve it, and they'll take feedback. I'm sure from the marketplace, but it's too loud. It's still a little bit, the pump head is too cheap for the cost, but I get it. It, you know, probably costs a lot to land it here. You know, that's probably why it's, you know, they have it priced the way they have it priced. So there's a really important distinction here. You know, this is why I try out pressure washers that I think, you know, might be interesting. I can't refuse to sell anything that wouldn't have been something I used progressively, you know, with progression in mind. So, you know, I would have used the Karcher for 130 bucks had I been at that place in life. And so I'd probably sell a bunch of Actives if I put it in the store, but it's just not right. It's just not a pressure washer that I would buy. I don't hate it, but it's just not good enough. You know, I would, if I had, I'd choose the Comet 100 out of 100 times. Obviously, the AR is a bit more. The AR630 is a bit more complicated in that you need 20 amps in order for that to work. But remember, in order for the AR to work, or for the Active to work, you've got to open up the orifice. So you could do the same thing on the AR. You know, you can do the same thing on a Krensla, where you just put a bigger orifice, and then you don't get as good a foam, you don't get as good a performance. You open up the orifice in order to keep the current draw down. Because remember, the Krenzla 1322 is designed for a 15 amp circuit. It'll work fine on a 15 amp circuit on everything except for the foam cannon. When you use the foam cannon with a 1 1/4, 1.25 millimeter orifice, you'll draw about 17 amps. So you'll most times trip a 15 amp breaker. But all you have to do, if you don't mind getting a little bit less foam, or having a little less performance in foam, or having to use a little bit more soap, or make sure you're using DI water or some water that isn't neutralizing the performance of your soap, you could always just open up the orifice. You can do that with any pressure washer, and that's what you have to do to the active in order to make it work. So it's not really any different than the AR or the Krenzla. And it's far inferior, build quality wise. Pump head, just look at the pump. One could argue that the AR 630 is a superior triplex design, so it's a crankshaft driven pump, much more durable. It's just that Krenzla's kind of mastered, or like Porsche, or Porsche's mastered the rear engine capability. The Krenzla has mastered the inferior radial axial pump. Yeah, I saw, is it Kev or Keev? What's his name? I met him, is it Kev? Keev, yeah. I saw him talking about he's going to take his AR 630 off and put the active in place. I'm like, you're lying to me, Keev. You're lying to me. No way. There's no way that anyone in their right mind would do that. Maybe if you wanted to test it or something. But he was making it out like it's better. I'm like, this isn't even freaking close. Get out of here, lizard. I'm gonna blow you apart. What I think I need to do, I need to reach out to Keev and Josh V, and reach out to all these young pressure washing guys who are sort of copying the formula, and let's get them on board with quality, because the Uberflex hose is freaking garbage. All this Amazon McKillians, all this Alibaba junk, it's just nonsense. So I'm gonna get them paid on good stuff. Let's get them into Mosmatic. Let's get them into SGS 28. Let's get them into proper fittings. Let's get off this whole Amazon train. I'll pay them more than Amazon does, so that'll get them off of that. And so if you guys are watching this, reach out. Let's get together. Let's really educate people. The big boy pressure washer is not where it's at, guys. I'm freaking telling you. If you've ever met those guys, they have no idea what they're talking about. They're really nice Australians, but they're just marketers. They're not, AR is like a legit, pump manufacturer in Italy. Comet, same thing. We need to stop this nonsense. We need to stop it in its tracks. Because again, if you're a detailer, you profess to be an advocate for professionals, you don't buy knockoff equipment, because it's like cutting off your nose to spite your face. You're just not, you're taking all the Rupezes of the world and the Coach Chemis of the world and the great manufacturers that support all of us by making great things, and yes, they make money off of things. That's how the world works. And then we go and let the Chinese just rip it off. And then we support that by buying a bunch of junk. And it's not the right thing to do. So let's get together and let's do this the right way. I could be convinced, if there's another better system or better pressure washer or better hose or something like that, but Flexzilla and Uber and all this garbage, it's just Alibaba junk. Giraffe tools. Give me a freaking break. Who is Giraffe? Mr. Giraffe? Is it Mrs. Giraffe? Who's the giraffe? Is a giraffe a real animal? No, it's a bunch of freaking marketing copycats. I saw they just launched a air hose reel. They're going to take over the whole garage market. I'm going to see this crap everywhere. You're going to get your giraffe cabinets and your giraffe vacuum cleaner with your giraffe pressure washer. And here's the problem. It's not inexpensive. It's a lot of money. And people are still buying it, which is crazy to me. And then they're yelling at me for selling, the best at MSRP. It's wild. So anyway, I'm gonna have to start working on this to get the world back on track. I created this monster. None of this pressure washing crap existed. And now we've created a market viability, and it's now, the Chinese come in and frickin' ruin it. And then us Dumbo Americans support it and ruin our own companies. It's so stupid. So anyway, my plan is to let's get all the the young influencers together, and let's actually influence positive instead of, I know this is a negative conversation, but let's influence great products, not freaking garbage knockoffs that ruin it for everybody. Because then the people that are following us end up getting a bunch of junk, and then they start defending it. It's freaking crazy. Next thing you know, there'll be tilt stamber, and then we'll get some frickin' 20-year-old American dude saying, "This is great. I don't know why anyone would buy the real stuff. This is the best ever." It performs just the same. Well, it might if they frickin' steal it and copy it. All right, so Bilt Hamber. We're gonna pre-wash. This sucker's dirty. Did you see how dirty this thing is? It's frickin' dirty. So remember, with this stuff, I'm not as concerned I'm getting this great foaming action here because of the pressure washer. But if you're not getting insane foam, it doesn't really matter. We just need to get the product on the car so it can go to work. So I did notice, see what I'm talking about? Like, it must not be intuitive when, to paint the surface. I just watch video after video after video of people just kind of wonking around, paint the car. Now I went super quick on that, but I'll show you when I use the other foam cannon. You just paint the car. It's apparently it's not as intuitive as I assume it is. All right, so we're gonna let that sit and do its thing. So now the new product, which I haven't even used yet, I think the old product is freaking fantastic. So the new product works even better. Works better at less concentration. I mean, I'm assuming so. But we'll have it soon. So I let it sit for 5 minutes or so, do its thing, and then we'll spray it off. So I put it on the car dry. I don't think it really matters. You could, if you wanted to, you could rinse it off. That would dilute it a little bit more, I guess, because there'd be some water on the surface. But the idea is we're gonna get it on the surface dry, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna rinse it off, and then we'll go back and proceed to our normal wash. So again, this is my admitting to the Europeans that you were right. A pre-wash is great. My cop-out is that I didn't think coatings were as durable, and I don't think that the pre-washes were as good. So A lot of the original pre-washes just frickin' strip everything off. And you could go with that philosophy of, you know, take the stuff off the car. What did Scott, the Dallas guy who disappeared, call it? Traffic film? I'm sure he stole it from somewhere. See, that's another example of the Scotts of the world. Everybody followed him to the, you know, to I guess, I don't know what happened to him. But he, you know, everybody's following him and he's the oracle. But he wasn't authentic. That's why I never did anything with him. He's not for real. The king of cheap then starts selling, you know, $140 coatings. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I'm just going to keep hanging around, and eventually people will start to get it. Being authentic is not easy. I'm not saying the young guys aren't authentic. They just don't know any better. I'm a freaking old man in this space. So, but young men don't being like they're told they're wrong. I know because I used to be one. And so when you buy a product, you know, I've been talking about this for years. When you buy something, like I even saw a bunch of people, they bought the Active already, and then you start to get defensive of it. We shouldn't be attaching our, you know, our self-worth to the products we buy. When it's not good, you just admit it. That's what I do. People on Instagram got real mad, or YouTube Shorts got real mad at me talking about washing bottom up. Yeah. See, I knew this guy was full of crap. I think it's the way to go. That's about the extent of my cleaning of the bed here. Yeah, I started to make a post last night, and then I was like, you know, maybe I better not. Just, yeah, like, I'll tell you if it's good. This will get people real mad. I must be hungry or something. But yeah, I was talking to. I sent my list to Koken, the Koken tools, which we're going to be, you know, we're going to start carrying in some form or fashion. I'm in love with them. And then I sent her my list of like, these are the things that that made the cut for me. And then she's like, well, you want me to run this by some mechanics? I'm like, what? No. What are they going to tell me? Get out of here. Absolutely not. I'd say maybe run it by the lead engineer for Koken, maybe. I'd be down for that, but not a guy in the field. So we got a good chunk of the bugs off the front here, just in the pre-wash stage. I'm telling you, the Swiss tracks and washing makes a really great experience. All right, so let's try our Shampoo Plus. Let's foam this thing. Let's see. So it's not touchless, meaning you don't touch it. It's touchless, touch-less. And so there's still, you know, quite a bit of dirt on the surface here. And so I did remove a good chunk of it, but you know, the car's been sitting outside. It's oak pollen season, so we still have to wash it. Foams pretty well. Sticking on the truck pretty nicely. Let's see how slick it feels. So anyway, the reason I don't need a mechanic to go over my list of my spreadsheet is that I'm 350 hours into building that darn spreadsheet and then getting the touch and feel of things. And for me, it's not so much about, does it function well, but I'm looking to complete a set, to complete a product line, if you will. And it's hard for me to articulate. It's in my head, it makes sense. But, that organization of product and putting it together is something I think a lot of the manufacturers are missing. They're lacking, and then aggregating and building a set is where I think the real value comes in. And so the product use, to me, is pretty simple. I mean, you can tell if a product's really great. Some more complex things need a lot more testing. But I'm not so concerned if I broke a ratchet. Let's say that the Hazet ratchet is a little bit more, has more torque capability than a Koken by 5%. Those sort of specs. It's the same thing with the pressure washer. There's more that goes into a decision, more that goes into me liking something than just the specs. Oh, this does 2.3 gallons a minute. That one does 2.1 gallons a minute. The 2.3 must be better. And then what a lot of people will use is the test. Okay, so the real world test says that this really did validate. I really did validate the 2.3 gallons a minute. So that must mean that I would take this out, which is only 1.9 gallons a minute, and replace it with something that has more flow. But there's more that goes into it. I mean, you can just look at the darn pump head and see the difference in quality. What it sounds like, what the switch to turn it on feels like. There's a lot more that goes into my decision-making process anyway than just that simple, is the spec the best? Is it, did the mechanic have less brake? That's just not as important to me, especially when you have something that has a lifetime warranty. I just don't, in the grand scheme, if you're going to spend $30,000 in tools and one ratchet breaks, you happen to break one, I don't know, warranties just don't. I'm much more interested in the overall user experience, the whole package. And then the Obsessed Garage value prop is that, I've said this a bunch, me going through a 300-page catalog is like eating ice cream. And a practitioner, a detailer, a mechanic, something like that, they don't have time to do what I do. First of all, they probably don't have the right temperament to do it. I'm a freaking weirdo. And then you'd have to have the resources and time. And then, the resources to be able to buy it all and get it all in one spot and organize it. And I look at things differently than the manufacturer does. So, that's makes sense to me anyway. Somebody was yelling at me the other day for washing a car with a frickin' diver's watch on. What the do you think is going to happen? It's designed to go to 300 meters. I think it'll be all right to go a few inches in a bucket. So. I always get in trouble for not using my cars. You don't use your cars. Well, I'm using my watch to tell the time when I'm washing the car. Otherwise, it's kind of pointless. I'm not a very good collector of things. I don't like collecting stuff. Once I get a few of something, then it makes me ready to get rid of it, start over and do something different. 15,000 miles is probably time for some new wiper blades too, if I'm being proactive. So let's get positive here. Michelle's new house is freaking almost done. It's wild. It's been a week since they broke ground and the trusses are already in. So they're gonna start putting the roof on, drywalling. It's freaking wild. This soap is pretty good, but I can already tell that the GSF feels slicker to me. What did we coat this thing with? Was it CSU? Yeah. So anyway, what's coming? So this is what I'm looking for in a human to join us at some point. I don't know when that's going to be. So picture this. I think I've told you to picture this before. And it is now it's roughly 4,000 to 6,000 square feet in one of the village's town squares. So the town square is kind of like, like a lot of newer, modern areas of cities. Like, it's kind of like sort of reminds me of an old lady version of like Soho, New York, where there's like shopping everywhere. And everything's kind of close together in like a little town square thingy, and they have live music and stuff. Maybe Soho's not a great example, but it's a place where the people go and congregate in the probably 10,000 a day, so substantial amount of people. And so imagine you're walking through town square at say 7 p.m. and you walk by this one building, this one, garage door, and it's a garage door like this size, maybe a little taller, and it's all glass. And you look in and you see this garage. I don't care if you're a 12-year-old girl, you're a 78-year-old man, you're not a car person, you're gonna stop, you're gonna look, and you're gonna say, holy cow, that's pretty freaking cool. And so what my intention is to build a building. On the left side is the clear garage door. There's a man door that you walk in. On the right side, right next to it, so there's a sign that says Obsessed Garage, and the sign next to it says Destination Obsessed Garage. And to the right is an outdoor kitchen, some high-end appliances, all the things that I'm interested in the house, interior lighting, lighting control systems, all the things that we would offer, set up that's functional, videoable, and then available for people to kind of get an idea. And then, of course, we'll also have 5455 Rolling Acres, my big building, where we have that all set up with another version of the garage. We have my house here. We'll also have Michelle's house in Middleton, which is right next to one of the other town squares, which we may put a design studio in that town square as well. And so what we're talking about having is we'll have designers in each location. So I'll have like a store manager that manages the store and is in charge of making sure that it's profitable and dealing with staffing, and because there will be more retail hours for that location than what I have to maintain at my normal Obsessed Garage headquarters. So what I'm looking for is somebody to come and be the main salesperson for this. Not so much in the retail store, but for design in general. To be a person that, for example, I'd envision, somebody to go and present to the Corvette Club, what it is we do and have to offer. As we get more customers and as we do more garages, setting it up with people to make their garage a showroom, a showcase, where we could schedule appointments to bring people by because maybe they did blue cabinets and somebody's interested in seeing what blue looks like. And so I'd envision us having a bunch of golf carts where, one of the designers could jump in a golf cart with a customer. Hey, let's run over to John and Betty's house and let's show them what this cabinet and this color looks like. Oh, by the way, they have the lighting that you're interested in as well. So I'm looking for somebody, not a type A salesman, but a type C salesman. Somebody who's more of an answer person. Somebody who can also manage people and go out and come up with marketing ideas with me and go out and execute on that. So if it's something you're interested in, let me know. There could also be an element of, again, you're working with Kyle and his team. There'd be an element of international design as well, maybe some travel involved and things in the future. Because what my vision is we're gonna have install teams here locally, and we'd have one install team that is the ACE team. And that ACE team is the one that gets the travel. And so a couple of times a year when Mike and I would normally go out and do a garage, you would go out before us with the team, or they would, not you, but they would go out before us and do the lion's share of the prep work, and then I could come out afterwards and do make the videos. So we're probably talking about in the future possibly 5 locations in all the town squares, maybe possibly also doing it somewhere like downtown Winter Park in Orlando area. And it'll be more, these design centers will be more focused on like pro slat level cabinets and Swiss Trax flooring, more basic stuff. Of course, we'll still be doing some big boy projects, but it'll be more of a volume type business. And so imagine you're John and Betty Smith, you see this at night, your kids are visiting with you. So your son and daughter, your son-in-law, your daughter, and your daughter, or your son and your daughter-in-law are all there. You're like, holy crap, you walk in, I have a nice salesperson or a nice designer, not so much a salesperson, but a designer saying, hey, let me show you around, let me show you the custom installed pressure washer, and here's our detailing line, and here's our cabinet line, and here are your options. Would you like to set an appointment to come and design it? Bring your plans, take a few photos, or we can run out to your garage and do that for you. And then we have an install team that can come out and install whatever you decide to do. And by the way, the install team, the leader of the team is also a vlogger. So that installer also manages the camera. So he's managing the project, but also the camera work. So we're going to create a channel called OG Builds. And OG Builds would have every single person's garage. And so that way, when John and Betty's garage is done, they get a vlog, they get a diary of their entire project that they can share with their friends and family. And then, by the way, the daughter's husband is all about this. And we set him up with our national design team, with Kyle and the team. And we get him set up as well. And let's say he's a real baller, he could then hire us as well to come out and do the install if he wanted. But most people, like we do now, you have your contractor, or most people kind of do it themselves. So what I'm looking for is somebody, I'm going to be needing a bunch of people. I'm going to be looking for installers, plumbers, electricians. We already have a contractor's license. So we have a license already to work under, the GC license. And again, just imagine how freaking cool that would be if people got to come and do what they love, share their passion for whatever it is you're good at, and help us build this thing locally. The other reason I'm doing this, I talked about before, was so we can get access to the charter school system, really contribute to the community as well. And I think it's going to be a pretty big business. So if you're interested, shoot me an email and we can chat. I'm not 100% sure of the time frame. Right now I'm in the process of drawing up a pro forma, and then also the plans. So we're drawing up in a perfect world what it would look like. So I can go to Village's commercial and say, hey, here's what I want to do. Can we do this? What does it cost? And so then that helps tie together the rest of the idea of closing the chain on the distribution model. So we'd be able to do, international level distribution, all the way from local to international. I won't be doing national installs other than, a few select projects every year. I don't want to build a franchise. I get these people all the time that think they're obsessed, but they're just not. And so I don't think I can maintain a level of quality, a standard nationally. So I don't have intentions of creating any kind of like obsessed garage franchise model, but who knows? Maybe that would change if I could really figure it out. Who knows? I'm just making it all up as I go. And it seems to be working. So if you're a product type, expert type, the person who tends to become an expert in product, but also knows how to go out and generate. Not just wait for the sale to come in, but to go out and figure out how to generate sales. Not just spend money on advertising or spend somebody else's money, but you spend your own time and energy going out and finding business. And I can teach you how to do that. But I need somebody with some skill set, and I didn't imagine we'd have a pretty significant sized team eventually doing that kind of thing. Like, hosting all the local realtors to a luncheon or something like that, and we get, Cox Hose Reels to sponsor it. And they all come in, and we're getting them to showing them what we do. Having them over by HQ, walking them through the garage, having them jump in a couple of cars and go out and see 3 or 4 garages that we've done. We give them our card. We generate a referral business. You go, Corvette Club needs a speaker this month. So you would go out, share the mission, share the vision, share what we do. That's what I'm talking about. Because I can't do it. Got too much other stuff to do. All right, let's rinse it. The reason I hadn't done this before, because I thought we would probably move someday. I thought that but now I'm kind of entrenched in this place. So the soap was pretty good. I'll try it some more. Uh-oh. Deadzo. You need a little, maybe this is where next wash I'll use the Car Pro D scale. I tell you what, the CSU EXO on the glass, on the side glass, holds up really well. Thing still looks brand new. So let me pause the video here to interrupt you and talk about garage design while I'm at it. One thing we noticed, we didn't really think about it clearly enough, I think. We had a $2,500 design fee that was installed on the website. And what we didn't make clear was that, look, we want you to reach out. It's not $2,500 for every design. If we're helping you do flooring, lighting, some cabinets, We don't charge for that. What we would generally do is take a $1,000 deposit. That $1,000 gets applied to your purchase. If we're just helping you design your Swiss Tracks flooring, we don't even take a deposit. We'll get you with Ed and team and Brooke, and they'll lay out your floor for you, get it ordered, get it shipped out to you. That doesn't cost anything. The $2,500 is for big designs where we're spending dozens and dozens of hours working with your architects, working with your team of people, your contractors to get your garage fully designed. Usually requires a dozen or so meetings, many hours behind the scenes. It's probably not charging, and certainly not charging enough for that service that we provide. But do me a favor, go to obsessedgarage.com, go to the design tab, scroll to the bottom, click the button inquire if you're thinking about and you're not sure. If you need some help with your garage, we'd be happy to help you design your garage from start to finish. We can do it anywhere in the country, anywhere in North America really. I'm working on Australia, UK, Canada, making it available internationally as well. So anyway, back to washing. Yeah, that soap is good. My initial snap judgment is that, I don't have any real empirical data here on this yet, but that GSF is still pretty significantly superior. But we'll keep using it, find out. All right, let's blow dry this thing. Let me get my buckets done first. I always feel better putting my pressure wash away first. So I think the future is really bright at Old Obsessed Garage here in the future. I got a lot of things on the go. They're gonna all start to hit right around the same time. But maybe you've noticed this, well, maybe not from the start of the video when I get frustrated with the industry and products getting copied and stolen from the best manufacturers. That really still gets me. Maybe I just need to let it go and call it capitalism, but it's frustrating to me. So I feel like I've been able to really stay present in this whole process. I'm not in a rush. I feel like I've made it in life for the first time ever, and I've always been in such a rush and always living in the future instead of living today. And so even though I've got a lot of different projects, a lot of irons in the fire, a lot of things that I have to do, it's a lot more fun than it's ever been for me. I'm really excited about this local design idea. I think it's going to do extremely well. It's certainly going to look cool. We also have garage door insulation stuff that my new friend Jeremy makes, where it takes your door from 150 degrees down to 70 degrees. And it's a much easier installation than cutting foam and trying to fit it in. I think an average garage door is something like $400 or $500. So we have that coming. We're going to do it at my dad's garage because mine's insulated, so it won't do anything for an insulated door. But if your door isn't insulated, and what a lot of people do is cut foam and try to fit it in there, and have a bunch of gaps. And so this stuff actually has magnets, so super easy to install. We send you a little template, and it would magnetize to some metal portion, and we do it in black or white. And it stays in place, and it's really super thin. It rejects the heat, sends it back out, which is really cool. All right, let me blow dry this thing off. I've been using the 765 a lot here recently. It's starting to grow on me, especially with the Ego tip. This is the OEM Ego tip. So we are going to be carrying the Ego pressure washer with all the accessories. We'll also make an accessory package for the, the active and the big boys and all those as well. So we'll have those for you. If you don't listen to me and you buy one of those things, or you buy a giraffe, God bless you. Oh, before we do this, we need to hit it with some Atomac. I always like to do this before. So this is Atomac, which is a rust inhibitor that's diluted 5%. Diluted to 5%, not diluted 5%. These rotors aren't particularly super rust prone because they don't get a lot of use with the regen. People are asking about my tools and cabinets and stuff. I mean, we got a little bit of humidity in here, but it's very short-lived. So it'll dissipate in less than 20 minutes. And, it's not like it's soaking wet in here. At least for long term. It's just buying me some time before I get my wash bays built. Okay, let's do the boring part of drying this thing off. I mean, the 765 is going to have to grow on me because the 580 is almost done. All right, let's try Amplify. So this is the detail spray / drying aid type thing. And all this crap parked on the roof, so I'm just going to use a big towel on the roof. My coating was holding up nicely and I waited like a week too long. Yep, waited a little bit too long. Let's get the roof done and we'll get our regular sized towels out. So we're gonna do the glass here today. I'll do a real quick polish, the windshield glass. The sprayer's not so good. Smells good. That, nice and clean. Let's try not to fall off the ladder one of these days. Maybe the same day I put my hose on will be the same day that I get a truck stool. At least I brought the hose here. I'm making steps. So I think I figured out how tools are gonna go. So I just finalized my Wera and Koken lineup of what the master collection is going to look like. But here's the problem. It's like $23,000. It's just an insane amount of money. And so, the issue I'm going to have is trying to stock all that stuff. Like, how am I going to do that? Especially when you're importing stuff from Germany and Japan. And so what we're going to do as part of our design service, we're going to offer a tool design service as well. And we'll keep a record for you. So we'll know, and this is, part of what the person I'm looking for that can like build a sales organization for me. The idea would be we'd reach out to you regularly and say, okay, we got your screwdrivers for you. What's next? Should we do your wrenches? And so that way we can build it to order rather than trying to stock it all, especially as products change and model numbers change. And so I'm gonna do the same thing with Milwaukee. We're gonna stock like the big items, you know, the items that we know we sell a lot of. And then we're going to just order, you know, so we'll help you build your system, build your tool setup, help you make sure you get all the right tool grid, and then maybe even get to the point where we can, you know, draw it up. We can draw up your toolbox for you and render it. And so I'm looking to build a design service for tools. It'll help me because I won't have to inventory as much. It will help you because you're gonna get full service. So that's my plan. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually run because you know, I love having all the Milwaukee tools in the store, but half the time they're not in stock because there's so freaking many of them. It costs so much money to keep it there. And I mean, a lot of these tools you've been waiting your whole life for, and if you're gonna wanna buy one, so we're gonna keep all the main stuff in stock. The stuff that, like mid-torque and drill driver and those kind of things, we'll keep those in stock. But the more obscure stuff like routers and things like that, nail guns, we'll keep stock at Milwaukee, and then we'll help you build out your system, and then we'll, you know, place the order for you once we build it all out. But again, if we're keeping a record, we're keeping a wish list for you. We're keeping a record of the tools that you have, the tools that you expressed interest in, and tools that you're gonna need in the future. And so all that stuff I think could be really beneficial. Yeah, shoot. I almost wanna just polish the hood, recoat it. It's a bunch of hard water spots on it. I think it was sitting out by the sprinklers. I can already tell this is not as good as drying aid, the Slipstream, the OG drying aid. It's not even close. Doesn't wipe off as easily. It doesn't appear to be leaving as slick of a finish behind. You know, let's just try this. I don't condone this, but let's just do this real quickly. Light scrub. It's a white car anyway. Just to kind of get that surface level bull crap off of there. Since clearly I'm going to end up polishing this anyway. Let's use lots of lubrication. So it's already pretty far gone anyway. I just marred the surface a bit, but I think it'll be okay. When it's white car, you're not gonna see it. Like if it was black or dark gray or something, I would never do that. But that did help us quite a bit. And then we'll maybe use the D-scale OG decon soap or something on the next wash. Maybe we can sort of reactivate the coating, get another year or so out of it. That already looks a lot better. Get rid of these towels now that they got some gunk in them. So let's go drying aid. Yeah, it's a much better wipe off experience. Still the king. OG drying aid. That's quite a bit better. I should do that to the roof. Wait, did I already do that? Yeah. Just need to do the lowers. Yeah, so I got lots of products to try out. I don't know that I call it testing, just trying it out. And then if I know that if I have like that Clarify Phobic that I'm about to put on the side windows here, that I had a really great experience with, then I'll start testing it out and see, is this something that I really want to have in my, add to my process. But I think the moral of today's story is just don't get so hung up on new. New is not always better. New is great when we have something that doesn't exist. It's like a new thing, a new tech, but new is not always the way. I'm getting pretty into, so let me put the call out for you guys. I'm not ready to buy anything yet, but Carrera GTS. So here's what I'm looking for. So keep an eye out for me. I think I've already seen pretty much all the ones, Renlist, Cars.com, Auto Trader, all the usual places you'd look. But I'm looking for 2014 to 16. In a perfect world, a 911 50th or Carrera GTS or Carrera S with the X51 package, right? So I want the wide body, the Carrera 4S body, but the two-wheel drive version. I don't want a Carrera 4. I don't want a Targa. I've considered, which would be stupid, I've considered convertible, which would be ridiculous. I've considered it. Under 20,000 miles, preferably 800 miles. That's what I'm looking at. But say under 30,000 miles. No, under 20,000 miles. And in a perfect world, it would have carbon ceramics, which would be unlikely. So I'm probably gonna have to find one with regular brakes, and then I'll have to get my own set of carbon ceramics and retrofit them. Doesn't have to have Burmester, but in a perfect world, it'd be carbon ceramics, center locks, Burmester in white or red, certainly not black. So no black, no agate, no silver. It could be a cool color, something interesting, but I really would want white or, like Club Blau or something, like if it was the Club Coupe, could be a cool option, cool version of that. That's wide body with the, power kit. So anyway, be on the lookout for those. That's what I'm looking for at some point here. I want that to replace the Evo as my daily driver car. So that's what I'm looking to get in the next, 12 months or so. I mean, I think my pursuit in the future, if a lot of these business opportunities start to pan out, I want to have like 10 911s in all different versions, but all naturally aspirated. Maybe a GT2 RS would be the only turbo variant I would consider. But that would probably be short-lived for me. I doubt I'd like that for very long. Yeah, OG Drying Aid reigns supreme. So good. So Ryan Friedman Cars has a, they have a Brewster to paint a sample Carrera S. It's 190 grand. I don't think that I don't think I want another Brewster. I really want a white one. Or, actually, I would prefer to have a red one. That's what I really want. I guess it depends on if I ever get my Amira or not. How's that? I don't mind washing this. I hate washing the Raptor. So my friends at EAG, Enthusiast Auto Group, that lent me the two E30s, they're coming for Matt Mormon detail training, if you want to call it training, whatever we're going to call it. I show them how I do things, and they can decide if they like it or not. We're going to do the Raptor together. That's my secret ploy, to get some free labor and have them dial in the Raptor for me. I'm going to order a new front bumper for the Raptor. Maybe do a little refresh to it. Maybe replace some of the worn interior parts. Still waiting for the darn bed cover for this car. All right, we'll do the jams. I'm gonna make Michelle do the interior when she gets home. I'm not doing it. I just freaking did it, and look at it. And then these tires, I don't dress these tires, so I'm gonna hit them with the Terminator. So what I'm gonna do with the glass is do a quick polishing. And then we'll coat it. So yeah, I hope Bilt Hamber gets the darn stuff on the water here by the time you're watching this, so we can get it here in the US. I know many of you are excited about it. You should be, because it's freaking good. If you're a retailer, I think, and you're interested in selling Bilt Hamber products, our goal is to open up wholesale in like 3 or 4 months, once we get it figured out. And then I'm gonna really focus on making sure it's price protected, where everybody's selling it for the same thing. It's not gonna be allowed to be on sale. Pete's pretty adamant about that. I am pretty adamant about that. That darn right rear tire is still low. It's gotta be a nail in it. I just can't, I haven't taken it off, but I can't find it. And it only leaks a little, it's very slow. I think this is the key to keeping a nice car, is to keep the door jambs clean. If you maintain that, it'll stay nice for a really long time. See, the one guy was yelling at me about E30s. It's like, what do you mean $100,000? Like, I guess he thinks it's my car or something. I was like, you clearly don't know what E30s sell for. So I sent him the Brigand trailer, you know. There's like 35 of them at the 110 and above. All right, so let's do a quick window fix here, and then we're gonna put the new super secret V2 of Bradley's coating, Armor glass coating V2, which is not available yet, but we're gonna see if it's good. And Michelle will certainly put it to the test. So you don't have to get crazy here. Just taking a microfiber pad, taking any compound, and I really just want to strip the surface of the glass off here. Just to prep it for coating. So we'll do this, and then we'll clean it with some some eraser or probably some little stiffer. And then we'll put the coating on really quickly. And I'm just doing the windshield. The rest of the glass, I'm gonna put some Clarify Phobic on. Remember, I'm not doing precision polishing here, I'm just cleaning it off. Deep cleaning it. That's it. Ooh. I don't know why I'm on a glass coating mission. I bought like 9 of them. Pick one to put on the Raptor, do the Evo. This will be the first wipe. I'm gonna do one more wipe with some waffle weave towels. This is why I don't mind Wolf's, because I would just top it off regularly. But on Michelle's cars, they get driven a whole lot more than mine do. And like I said, they're not, wiper use isn't as discerning. So I'm looking for something sturdier. I've gone down this path many times and I always keep coming back. But there's a lot of new products that come out since. So now is probably a pretty good time to test it out. All right, so let's grab some waffle weaves. Let's do that once more. Stuff evaporates the moment it hits the darn panel. It's such a heavy alcohol content. Looks pretty good. All right, I'll put some gloves on. Let's do it. So I'm gonna do the whole window. Man, it feels good to have my whole detailing arsenal all set up here. See, it doesn't even have a label on it. This is when you know you're cool and important. Just joking. Chill out, people. It's pretty thick. Smells a lot like all the other glass coatings we do. It's not grabby. I like the idea that I can just go wipe it off. I don't have to let it sit. Okay, that's coat number 1. Oh yeah. Just like a coating. Nice. Super slick. Yeah, that's really nice. The Diamond Protect was even nicer. It basically didn't even have to wipe anything off. It was just gone. But this is nice. A lot of glass coatings can be real annoying to get off. Michelle's gonna be so pumped to have nice glass again. See if she even notices. All this work I do for nothing. Nobody cares. Okay, let's knock out another coat real fast. I'll probably save this and then do the roof. Just wipe it off. Piece of cake. All right, last thing I want to do, I want to hit the rest of the glass with Clarify Phobic. It's CarPro glass cleaner. It also has a little whatever glass sealant in it as well, just to kind of top off the sides. I had such a great experience on my Evo with this. Let's see if it holds up on the CSU EXO. It's this stuff, streak-free glass cleaner. I'm not really worried about cleaning the glass because OG Drying Aid does a great job on its own. But this is just getting a little topper layer. Yeah, this stuff is good, man. It feels super slick afterwards and wipes off like in a half a pass. Great. I think I'm gonna add this to my process. Takes a few seconds just to add a little boost to my glass. Man, I like this a lot. The key to not having foggy glass is just to keep the inside clean, not treated with anything. Yeah, this stuff is freaking awesome. I'm gonna hit my windshield and my side glass after every wash. That took me what, a minute? So good. Really good. I normally don't like dual purpose products, but that seems legit. All right, last thing, let's clean up the tires here. So I stopped dressing my truck tires, and normally what I would like to do, I either hit it with this or with, what's it called? Mineral spirits. I took the mineral spirits to HQ to work on the wheels for the E30. So we're gonna use some Terminator here on them. Just take this, spray it on the towel. Don't spray it on the wheels or anywhere near the wheels, especially black. You'll end up possibly spotting them, especially if they're matte. These are gloss, they'd probably be okay, but you don't want to end up jacking up the finish by getting overspray on them. Yeah, these are really clean still. Nice. I think you should have like 6 cans of Terminator laying around. I use this crap all the time. Seems like every time I need it, I'm out of it. So I started keeping 4 cans in my cabinet. I think I'm gonna update it to 6. That's it. That's a wrap on the Rivian. I'm gonna leave it in here. Maybe we'll have the whole family come help me knock out the interior. We'll clean it out. I do have to figure out a nail in the tire. It's in the right rear. But yeah, lots covered in this video. If you're still here, thanks for watching. If you're offended, I'd say you need to man up a little bit, a lot, and keep on coming back for more. I got plenty for you. 2024, 2025 is going to be a wild ride. Hopefully it'll be a wild ride in a Carrera GTS. In the mountains. What I should do is just go get my darn Cayman GTS and bring it here. Thanks for watching. I think that's it. Get the new shirts. Get the Bilt Hamber. Get your place in line. As always, stay tuned for more crazy. Thanks for watching.